Yeah, we find her, the beautiful girl we've been missing. We wanna have her kissing. We find her, now we in love. So go so the remix.
DMB, Tux Bites, remix.
Now if I had to lose you like a bad phone connection, I'd change my game to get a better reception. Sit back, let's start this interaction. Don't fight the feelings, just a chain reaction. Your heart won't give you the wrong instructions. Like my GPS, yes I got the right direction. We gotta merge together like a road intersection. Last stop is gonna be my love and affection. I ain't like them other dudes, they wanna call you shorty, but I'ma call you a beautiful girl. I took your picture home, my mama saw it, she's a very, very beautiful girl. I wanna put you in my video, cause you're so beautiful. You're a beautiful girl. So when you hear us on your radio, turn up your stereo. It's beautiful girl.
Gotta find a shorty, what's worth of a lady. It's nice but maybe doesn't look like 40. It's taking a little time. I wasn't seeing no signs, any traces of my baby. Who's gonna be my baby? But I thought I'm gonna take my time. But then it took a long fine eye. I saw a shorty passing by. She's got this very pretty smile. It was right at the bus station. I tried to make a conversation, holding her arms, feeling so charmed. I felt this sensation. It's been a while that I've been trying to find a beautiful girl. Now I realize I found me a beautiful girl. She's a model, she's so fine. I just wanna take it by. Beautiful girl. Sparkling eyes, a killing eye. I found me a beautiful girl.
My wish came true when I saw you, girl. God must have blessed me with your beauty, girl. Looking so right from your head to your toe. Shaped like a cocoa bottle with a smile of a queen. My queen to be, you my destiny. Got a body of a goddess with your beauty. I'm impressed and I'm never in distress. Come on over and be mine. Been searching for a man and now all the cats keep looking to mine. With a sexy walk and a sexy talk. She must be from your planet called the sexy world. I know I ain't tripping, better yet I'm thinking put a ring on the finger. We look good together. Take your place in my heart. With your beauty I'ma say that I'll never turn away. Who would think I'm in love?
So the way she smiles at me just really makes me weak. The way she speaks to me just really make me go so weak. Keep tearing in her eyebrows. All I kept on saying is wow. Your beauty shines and breeze at night. All I really want in my life. Oh yeah. It's been a while that I've been trying to find a beautiful girl. Fine brown eyes. I found me a beautiful girl. She's my model, she's so fine. I just wanna take it. Beautiful girl. Sparkling eyes, killing thigh. I found me a beautiful girl. Yeah, beautiful girl. Beautiful girl, yeah. Beautiful girl.
Damn. Money. You seen her? Hot Ice. Have you seen her? LP. Have you seen her? I'ma go over to Tux Bites. I know you've probably seen her. He has a lot of beautiful girls with him. Tux, it's DMB, baby. Look.
Beautiful.
I look for a while, but I can't seem to find a beautiful girl so I can make her mine. Time after time I've been searching for a while, but every girl I meet never seems worthwhile. What can I do? I pray to God for an answer. I feel pains in my heart like cancer, and when I find her, I'm gonna romance her. Lace several presents and gifts, call me Santa. Claus, I make her heartbeat pause. That's my girl, homeboy, not yours. The girl of my dreams, she's more than I ever thought. Show me Aston Kutcher, I think I'm getting punked. She's what I really want, so I'ma go get her. Since I'm a go getter, you know I'm gon' get her. And I will give her the world, anything for my beautiful girl.
Psych. Ooh. It's been a while that I've been trying to find a beautiful girl. Fine brown eyes. I found me a beautiful girl. She's my model, she's so fine. I just wanna take it. Beautiful girl. Sparkling eyes, killing
we done enough.
Man of prestige. Ha! Now this guy win. Now you win. Now you win today. Now you win. Now you win. I agree. Man of prestige. Now man you be.
I'm sure some people will be jealous now the way I talk about Ola. But I have learned a lot from him. That's why I keep telling you to follow him. If you don't follow Man of Prestige, now you know.
Welcome back. Welcome back. What's going on, everybody? How are you doing? This is Ola coming to you live from my Empire Pro Studios. How are you all doing? Shout out to my sponsors, Life with Natu, Mofresh, Richie, Adesua, Film Girl, Tima, Show Mama, Goret's Corner, D-Love. I appreciate you all for always supporting the platform. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hit that like button as you're coming in. Share, subscribe. Over here we talk about relationships, but we use trendy topics. We use current affairs. We use the news to extract relationship lessons, and we focus on self-power, social seduction, attraction, emotional intelligence. That's what we focus on. So we try our best to remain a student of those things here because they are moving targets, right? So that's what we do here. If you haven't done so yet, do me a favor. So sorry about that. I just hit the mic. Let me make sure that. All right, great. All right, so if you haven't done so, you can download the books absolutely for free. The books are free. Oh well, this one is free, right? This one you get on the waiting list for this. This will come out December 30. So if you haven't done so, make sure you go to loveandprestige.com and do that immediately. All right. I hope you guys are doing well. Okay. If you're watching a replay later, make sure you let me know you're watching a replay. I appreciate you. We got a few topics to cover today, a few news, a few stories to cover. Of course, one of them being Teyana Taylor and Iman Shumpert divorce announcement. Well, not exactly an announcement. It leaked. But nonetheless, they are public figures and it is what it is. We're going to be covering that today. All right. So with that being said, let's go ahead and dive into some of these stories. Yeah, it's going to be fun. I'll be right back.
Beautiful girl, sparkling eyes, getting tight. I found a beautiful girl.
Girl, it's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Make love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.
All right. So I saw this thing on Instagram. And I'm going to read it to you. Let me not blind you out. I'm just going to read it to you. Something to the effect of before you get married. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to come here and share with the Prestige family. See what their thoughts is about it. Whatever you think about this, just let me know in the chat. In the comments, rather. Right. But let's dive into it. Let's see. It says, before you get married. This was posted by some platform called Income Yard. Okay, so this ones are probably looking for followership, which is fine. Before you get married, it says, discuss bills. I guess parenting styles, credit, debt, religion. That's 5. Okay. How to deal with family. 7. What beliefs will be instilled in your children? 8. Childhood traumas. 9. Sexual expectations. 10. Partner expectations. Let me go back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. 11. Financial expectations. 12. Family health history. 13. Mental health history. 14. Bucket list. 15. Dream home. 16, careers and education. 17, political view and what else comes to mind. So they couldn't even end it at 17. The person said, and what else comes to mind. Okay. Now, I want to go through some of the comments and see what the people are saying, because clearly this kind of things is the kind of things that people are looking for today. It goes viral, you know. Let me see who is here. Natu, how far are you doing? Hope you're doing well. All right. So this is 17. No, the 17th one says, 18th one says, and whatever else comes to mind. But let me look at some of these comments, right? This platform is called Income Yard, and you know they're probably looking for followers, and they know that this kind of things will get people talking more than they actually prepare for marriage. Anyway, somebody said discussions doesn't mean agreement. You definitely have to talk about it. All right. So of course, agree. Yeah, I'm gonna hit like on that. Somebody said, why isn't a relationship with God on the list? Good question, but I'm gonna guess quickly. That's an easy one. You know, maybe not everybody believes in God, right? That is single-handedly the most important one. Couples that pray together have a divorce rate of less than 1%. Where did the studies come from? Okay, now I agree that couples that that are on the same page, okay, including they want to pray or they don't want to pray, if they're on the same page, they're probably going to not end up in divorce, right? But anyway, this is the person's personal belief, and that's okay, that's all right. He's right, okay? It says pretty impressive when average divorce rate these days is over 50%. Oh, 1% to 50%, right? Yeah, pretty impressive. Yeah. But where's the studies? Anyway, I believe that couples that are on the same page would definitely be less than, if they're on the same page, it's almost impossible that they will divorce, But there are some that are on the same page and they end up in divorce. What do you mean? All right. Somebody says simple. Don't marry. See, I agree with this person. If you have the 17 things on your list right here, right? They make sense on paper, but I don't know if you need to be getting married. I just don't know. What? Not because the words don't make sense themselves, right? It's just that you're probably going to, you see how overwhelming that list is? You're probably going to overwhelm your partner in the relationship. It's probably not going to work. Not because these things are not accurate, correct on paper, but because emotions will be your mate, and the emotions will be more of a reflection of the reality of things rather than what you've written on paper somewhere. But anyway, let's continue. Somebody says mental health. What's that supposed to mean? You're supposed to leave them as soon as you discover the other family got the other family got some problems, right? Because there's a mental health history here, right? Like think about it, for a second. If you're discussing these things, right? Chingy Alpha, how you doing? Right? If you're discussing mental health history and and they follow the other rule that we tend to set, which is honesty is the best policy, right? And they're like, yeah, I had a mom. A grandmother who basically lost their sense at the age of 55, right? The question is that, would you stay in that situation? Would you stay? And if you stayed, would this worry your mind, and would this start to tamper with your mindset? So this person said mental health, what is that supposed to mean? You're supposed to leave them as soon as you discover some kind of family got some problems? Keep the bloodline pure or some shit? This person said, a lot of people seem to be missing the point here. No, we get the point. All of this makes sense on paper. The point is very clear, okay? All of this makes sense, right? A lot of people seem to be missing the point here. It's easy to get carried away with rose-tinted glasses when you're in a relationship. Not only is it easy, it's the natural thing to happen. Like, we would want you to kind of like, romance, right? You're especially in 2023 and beyond. You kind of like want to be into the person that you're with to an extent that you have to like wake up, right? That's actually the normal behavior. See, when you're moving like you're a robot and you're no longer carried away anymore. You just want to ask all 18,000 questions. By the way, this 18 questions is not all it is. It's probably going to be about 18,000 altogether. Why? I don't wait. 18,000. That doesn't make sense. Our mind, our imaginations has no limit. Okay. If you have room for all of these questions and you memorize them, there's probably another additional 17,983 questions, right? Sorry, discussions that you would need to feel satisfaction about in order to be able to move forward, right? Yeah, I'm basically saying it's almost impossible. I'm saying, yeah, that's why I agree with the person that said, don't marry. Is it by force? Don't marry now, right? Anyway, there's really just one thing you have to figure out when it comes to this marriage of a thing, but we'll talk about that in a second. Resulting in this person, a lot of people seem to be missing the point here. It's easy to get carried away with rose-tinted glasses when you're in a relationship. Okay, that's how a lot of people end up getting divorced, because they realize that while they had chemistry, they weren't compatible. They had chemistry, but they weren't compatible. Can we discombobulate, decompose each one of the sides? What is chemistry? What is compatibility? I'm guessing not. It just sounds cute. It's just, chemistry, compatibility, which one is more important? On paper, obviously compatibility, right? On paper. But how does this play out in real life? We don't have time for that in social media. You don't have time for that. Resulting in disagreements and fights. Having these conversations before you tie the knot can save you from a lot of misery in the future. Now, I don't disagree with having conversation. It's just about how you do it, right? It's just like exactly what do you mean? How are you going to go about this conversations? Is this a situation where you are check, or you're actually getting to know a person? So when you get to know a person, right, you will leave room for a lot more information that you probably would not get if you go there with this mindset of a 17 checklist question. You get a lot more questions. Not only that, you will get your vibe. You will feel on them. You will know, right? Now, you might not get mental health history, right? So it just depends, right? But the most important things, right? If you're a whole full-bodied person is in front of you that you're attracted to, you're going to get the most out of them by just getting to know them, by being authentically curious about getting to know this person without any attachment to the outcome. Because hey, it's not everybody you go on a date with that you have to sleep with. It's not everybody that you have to marry, right? But listen, it's just a complex issues, so I want to acknowledge that. Having this conversation before you tie the knot can save you a whole lot of misery in there. The thing is that if before you tie the knot, I would hope you've had a lot of conversations. Again, it just depends on what kind of conversations are this. Are this conversation designed to act like you're robots? Because that's unrealistic. It's just not going to happen. You might as well not go on a date. It's not worth it. It's not worth your time, right? It's not worth your time because you're on the edge already. Right? You're very fearful already. You're afraid. You think something is going to come back and haunt you. Your mindset is literally driven by this part of the statement where this person said, that's how a lot of people end up in divorce. You're driven by that. You're going to attract what you fear the most. I know that's counterintuitive. Okay? I know. All right? But let's keep going. Let me see. Let's see. This person said, why are people acting like all these are a big deal? It's simply talking about any of those. This would kill your relationship. No. It won't kill the relationship. It will kill your ability to show up to the relationship in an authentic manner. It won't kill. There was no relationship. You don't have a relationship. The relationship never existed. If you were leading with, I must know all 17 things on my checklist. If you're leading with that, it's already shot in the foot. It's not going to get anywhere. Okay? You have to keep in mind you're dealing with human beings. You being part of human beings, right? You're going to shoot. It's not going to work. Okay? How do I know? I mean, just look around you. All right? How many people do you know that actually has times 2 this list, but they're still trying to figure things out, right? I guess it's rocket science. It's not exactly rocket science, but if you consider the fact that you're a human being, okay, you move by your emotions, right, and you're actively trying to shoot emotions down, it's not sustainable, okay? And honestly, I'm not sure if I have an answer for you if you already moved this way, because you're probably psychoanalyzing everything I'm saying right now and trying to figure out, like, well, that doesn't make sense. I should get to know everything. Like, I know. There's a disconnect, particularly from the results I'm willing to bet, my monthly livelihood, okay? Maybe it wasn't the healthiest relationship in the first place. Maybe there was no relationship in the first place, right? Because you can't even start one, because you need to protect yourself, and you already won by simply protecting yourself. Nobody else is coming into your life. Just protect yourself. You already won that game. If the game is to basically be safe, right, and protect yourself accurately, almost absolutely 100% of the time, you already won. You have to do nothing. Just memorizing this question is just, I guess, brain exercise, right? Brain exercise. Overthinking Matt Caro. I don't know what that means, but I get the overthinking part. Just enjoy every process. Does that make you feel unsafe? I can't agree more. Enjoy the process. Enjoy the journey. You're going to find out more than 18 pieces of information if you just enjoy the process. Well, no more thing. Work on yourself. There's just some things that won't stand around you if you put all that focus, all that energy on working on yourself. It's just some things are not sustainable around you because you'll be healthy enough. You can't handle abuse. Your system, your overall being cannot handle any form of abuse if there's enough adequate self-esteem. These questions will shoot your self-esteem in the foot and in the head. Okay? And this has nothing to do with what they mean on paper. Again, let's go over it again. Discuss bills, parenting styles, credit. Parenting styles, both of you are probably not going to know what the hell you're talking about. Credit, debt, religion. Nah, that one should be obvious. Like I always said, be careful if you're crossing those lines, right? Those ones you can, by getting to know a person, you can pick that up easily. But like I said, you pick 18,000 more up just by getting to know a person. How to deal with family, right? You don't know what you're talking about if you have this conversation earlier on, unless one of you have some experience, which is fine. That person should also have experience enough to have this conversation in not a way, in a not so robotic way, right? What beliefs will be instilled in your children? Childhood traumas. Some of our parents joined another church while we were like 7, 8, 13 years old. They decided randomly out of nowhere to join another church or to join another religion, right? So all the discussions in the beginning went to the what. Wait. What if they discuss it, they wouldn't join? No. People change their mind all the time. That's just part of the process. That's life. It's really how you respond to crisis in life. Those are the things that you want to learn. All right, childhood trauma, sexual expectations, partner expectations, financial expectations, family health history, mental health history, bucket list, dream home, careers and education, political views, right? You believe in Trump? I don't believe in Trump. Let's go our separate ways. You believe in Tinubu, but you're obedient. No, could it work? Let's just keep it moving. Like, Indomie generation, they love deceiving themselves. I can't wait. Let me see. Let me come to the chat. But Patrick Mosen text saying, yo, how far? Hello, sir. Happy Thanksgiving to you, sir. Check your text message on WhatsApp. Oh. I sent you a text. Let's catch up. All right. Let's move fresh. What's going on? Chinye says, anyone can have chemistry, but that's not the cocoa of the matter. Yeah, like, my point actually with the chemistry versus compatibility thing is that what we're talking about is such a vague thing and people throw them around and they know what they mean when they throw them around, but usually when you ask the next person what they mean, it's a complete different story. It's another reason that's why they're dangerous, you know. So I'll just say this, okay? There's one thing you need to focus on. That one thing is very simple, okay? make sure you're on the same page. That's a moving target. Get on the same page. Get to know the person. So you are following the target, right? If there's chemistry, there's attraction, you follow, right? If there's alignment of values, you continue to follow. While you're doing all of that, make sure you're working on yourself, right? Make sure you have enough self-adequate value system that you're not just gonna fall for anything. If you follow these simple things, you should be fine. Okay, you should be fine. But you need to really we need to get back to enjoying the process, right? We're overthinking a very simple natural process that if you were dropped into the earth, right, in the middle of this planet, and you were supposed to figure it out, you will get with another person. You not go do it and I won't do. You go do life together, right? So now we're getting to know more about ourselves. We're getting educated more, but you need to be aware that that's probably destroying people's chances as well. Not intentionally, obviously. Nobody means any harm, but you have to know that there are limitations, right? When you move so far away from the natural process of things, it only lasts for so long, because it's not sustainable. Like you're overworking yourself. You don't have enough horsepower for all of these extras. Check this one, check that. Mental, do you even know what you're reading? If somebody give you mental history, right? Could they possibly lie to you? Why would they feel they need to lie to you? It's already overworked. You already overworked a relationship that doesn't really exist. It can't work. But apart from chemistry, no be your mate. It goes beyond that. The baby of the house is taking AP chemistry, not easy at all. Yeah, all of that is it's very vague conversations, and when you're because the comment says, okay, before you get married. Yeah, before you get married. If you find somebody that you like before you get married, make sure you get with coaching. Okay, at the point where you start to feel like I want to take something serious, engage coaching, engage counseling, engage counseling, and then make sure that counseling involves conflict handling, conflict resolution. Okay, everything else will be tested, but if you have a conflict resolution, if you guys are actively always being on the same page, you're listening, active listening, all this kind of stuff, simple, basic things that people doesn't sound good enough. Boundaries, expectation. If it doesn't sound like that, they're not satisfied, but that's why not everybody, the majority of people are failing at this game called relationships and marriage. Okay, every single one of these people, they know all the right thing to say, like, oh no, but some of them didn't vet, they didn't check each other's credits. Leave that thing alone. People have good credit and they destroy the credit in the middle of life because they took a risk that nobody could. It's just life happening, but when there's crisis, when you're on the same page, you can get through anything. Those are the guarantees. You will go through something, but you can get through anything. Okay, so I'm gonna say that for now. We're gonna move on to the next story. I will be right back. Hit that like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications. All right, while we move through today's session, I'll be right back.
Beautiful girl, sparkling beautiful girl.
Girl, it's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Make love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.
All right, so So before we continue, first of all, we're gonna talk about Korra Obidi. Okay, we're gonna talk about Korra Obidi for a second here. But before we continue, do me a favor, hit that like button, share and subscribe. Okay, no matter how you're watching me, a replay, just a favor. I'm asking you a favor. Okay, if you don't do it, if you just come here when you come here, that's why we're 6 here. The more the merrier. Let's not front. Okay, the more the merrier. We've gotten 100 people on a live session here before, maybe one or twice, but I don't want to cap that it's just because we're talking about something extremely trendy. No, it's not that. It's just that we're excited at the time. Now, see finish don't enter small. So it's natural, it's okay, but do me a favor, grab the link and send it to, post it in a few groups, three groups, okay, on WhatsApp, anywhere, share it. Just help me share it, okay, so we can get the words out there. I'm doing everything in my power as well. Shout out to Brother Ben. He actually dropped some hints that we're put into place right now so we can grow the platform, okay? But don't get tired, because I'm not tired, this is a long game for me. All right, so but in the meanwhile, let's do what we can do as we continue to get through this, okay? And also, I'm paying attention to the kind of topics we cover. I want to stay focused on relationship-based stuff, okay? But I still got to cover the trendy stuff. So, for example, Korra Obidi, all right? Korra Obidi, all right? This young lady came into my radar. What was that, like 2 years ago or so? Actually, one of the most viral videos that we have here and the secondary channel was about Korra. She broke up with her husband. It was very messy. The guy was like, "You've been abusing me," kind of like similar to what just happened to what's his name? I just forgot the other one that were just dragging themselves. So anyway, it's basically this content creator people, a lot of young people that don't really realize that attention, like we're looking for attention here now for this platform, right? That's a fact. We're just looking for attention, right? But too much attention can absolutely destroy you, right? Especially if you're not prepared for it, right? And the younger you are, the more you're not prepared for it, right? So some of us have been through a little bit of life, so we know that, hey, I want some attention for what we sell for our market. However, we don't want that kind of attention, right? But you have a lot of young people, they're running with, all types of, they would say things like, any, how they say, something to the effect of any attention is all good attention or something like that. That's not true. That's not the reality. The reality is that too much attention can destroy you, Today, right now, in the past few days, in the past 48, 72 hours, PDD, Puff Daddy, would hope, like if you can rewind time right now, he would hope that he doesn't have any attention at all. But anything in life that's too much can destroy, including water, right? Somebody's like, water? Wait, let me go Google that. Water can destroy if it's too much. Baba, if you drink too much water, depending on the state of your stomach, you can get bloated and start feeling funny already. Yeah, anything that's too much is too much, But Korra Obidi is she was married to a guy called Justin. They had 2 babies together. She's a dancer. She's a singer too, and she's been trying to blow. So she decided to put this on she's obsessed with attention. And I'm not sure if she's obsessed with attention or the money, because her livelihood is kind of attached to the attention too. So I get it, to an extent. I get it to an extent, but this is a very difficult thing. You have to manage it. You have to manage it like everything else in life. There's certain types of attention you don't want. So even the fact that she doesn't show her children on Google and on YouTube anymore, that has to do with the court ordering her to not show those children on YouTube anymore. So after they were tussling back and forth, allegedly, with the ex-husband, a white boy, I think the judge eventually said you can't show, and that makes sense to me. If you're not going to agree, you can agree to one thing: don't show the children on social media. Okay. So she decided to put this out there. I'm gonna play it. Let's see if we can get anything out of it. This caption on Leader AKG blog official says Korra Obidi shares video showing moment she opened a letter stating she was denied U.S. citizenship. Just watch it. There's not much vocals on it. Okay, just watch it. Now she's opening that, right? I noticed on Clubhouse earlier, some people were having a conversation. Then the title of the page was like, "She got what she deserved." I'm like, why? What do you mean she got what she deserved? They're giving anyone, anyhow. If you're lucky enough, you have enough grace, you have enough alubarika, they give you people citizenship.
Department of Homeland Security.
So why? I mean, she had. It's not a crime to go through divorce. Why would anybody think she deserved that? But anyway, social
Oh my
media.
God.
People just want to have an opinion sometimes. So it looks like she was declined, but I don't know if that's that much of a big deal. All right. You think she's acting? You think she's acting? No, I think that's serious. She's just obsessed with putting everything out on the internet for everybody to see. So, like you see the Uncle Cook here says, no be everything, then they post. Yeah, a lot of this is just attention. You can't be seeking citizenship and still be embarrassing your husband ex online.
And
Somebody says
USCIS
USCIS.
considered my application abandoned.
Consider the application abandoned. What? Anything he writes against you, they will believe him more. That's not true. That's not true. That's somebody talking out of their ass. Not all relationships ends well, but the way you behave afterwards goes a long way in either helping you or working against you. I agree with that part. Okay? I agree with that part, definitely.
Reopen this application.
Somebody said she wasn't denied citizenship. Her application was considered abandoned.
USCIS.
There you go.
From the date that
I think that's what she said actually, abandoned. Because she moved to a new home and couldn't be reached. Yes, that can happen.
does not receive your
When you move, that can happen.
understand
Thought she explained this already. Linda and Co. Stop posting rubbish. Why hello? Alright, so that's making more sense.
I think I have to Google that.
But think about, so that makes sense. What she's saying here makes sense now, right? But think about the person that jumped the gun and they put a whole topic somewhere and they said, hey, she deserved what she got. Like, why? If you say things like this, are you aware that this is more about you than the person you're commenting about?
Not you guys.
Let me see. Let me just
Open this.
this social media worry, everything that's social media, marriage social media, children social media, food social media, hanyash social media. When you clock 45 to 50 years without husband, you go there look social media for your phone to open them. Go hard. You learn the hard way soon. No worry. Listen, she put herself out here. At the end of the day, trolls are trolls. They'll do what they have to do as part of the entertainment for the day to get through the day. You just don't know what people are going through. But when you decide to make your life, somebody say, hey, y'all kindly reapply, and I pray that they give her. Amen. But not everything deserves to be on social media though. Agreed. Must you bring, if she dance, she will get more views than this. If she just dance and shake that bum bum on social media, she will get more views than this. But I get that sometimes too, because she will need to dress up and everything. Must you bring everything on social media sometimes? I mean, let's all stop. Come on, like, stop the cap. After all, we're watching and getting entertained by this. Stop the cap. You're watching, you're leaving comment.
Stop the cap.
Let's see here. She says, why would they say that? What did she do to deserve it? Wicked, bad-minded people everywhere. Maria say, but she can remain right. No, I think she probably has green card. She's citizenship she's applying for right now. She probably has green card, yeah. That's why I say I don't really see the big deal. Yeah, permanent residence, exactly. I like Korra. If I was her, I wouldn't play this live though. Yeah, she wouldn't know that. Everything is attention, money. Somebody probably told her, or she told herself that, you know what? I don't care. They want to watch, let them watch, they make me more money. Right? She can, yeah, she moved, right? She can still appeal it. Anyways, there are more cases worse than her. It's no big deal unless she's done something against the state. Exactly. If you did something against your, that's why I disagree with that person earlier. If you did something against your ex-partner, the state don't care about that ultimately. Okay? They don't care. Yeah, they don't care. That's why they'll collect your money at the divorce court and child custody court, and unless you owe actual money over a period of time, they're not really going to throw you in jail for that either. You know, they don't care. They will find mediation for you first before they put you in jail. You're not going to make them any money in jail. You have to be extremely dangerous to yourself or other people from a physical standpoint, not emotionally, not verbally. Unless your verbal is saying that you're going to hurt someone. So no big deal unless she's done something against the state. It's all about getting an attorney. America would keep her over Justin because they get more money from her. Exactly. They will even throw their own citizen out. No, not that serious, but I know what you mean. When she gets it, the person that said that can go and hug Transformer. She makes money from going live. Yeah, which is what makes it tricky, you know. See, how do I say this? There's a scripture for this. I can't even remember it right now because I'm a terrible Bible scholar. But all things are profitable and not things that are lawful or something like that. It's not every money, that you need to take. It's not every money, right? You have to find a balance between, like, there are some things I can do on this platform that will get us going viral faster, right? But long term is a bad idea. Right? Long term is a bad idea, and there are people that have done it and gotten away with it. So you might even want to call me a coward for playing it safe. It's okay, all right. It's not every money that you need to take, you know. But she's an adult. If she's deemed it fit to take any and any who money from any type of attention, sure, she should just keep in mind that there's consequences for that without necessarily being wrong. Attention by itself is already, it's just very, very dangerous, you know. My dad was denied and he is waiting to apply again. So what's the big deal? Yep, no big deal. You know, even there are people that say we give you 2 weeks to leave. Even those people consider it not a big deal. Some of them still stayed, they figured things out, and they are here now with citizenship. I know a few of them. Okay, what they did, I don't know what they did, but I know a few of them. Okay. So how much more somebody who has children and probably has a green card? Doesn't make any difference, you know. YouTubers who live their lives from social media attention almost never ends well. Yeah, it's just a bad idea. Yeah, bad idea. You know, if I bring my little baby girl here every other and I start showing her face that she does cute stuff, I even say squash all this talking relationship with you guys and I change it like Justin and just do play games with the little girl. This YouTube platform will probably blow because you're like, oh, cute, right? But listen, bad idea. Okay, bad idea. You gotta be careful with those kind of things. But again, for the way she moved when she was inside of a marriage, she was definitely she's another person that didn't know shit about marriage before she got into marriage. Okay. She's another person that's probably a narcissist that will run into the internet and call her partner a narcissist. So it's another person that will probably think that a white husband should just act like God. Whatever. She probably has her expectations and it fell on the face. When it came down to it, reality kicked in. Marriage, relationships, especially romantic relationships, are to be managed. There's no perfection in it. You can strive for perfection, that's fine. I think that's a good idea, but you should be aware that that's just a destination that doesn't exist. Okay, just keep that at the back of your mind. But shout out to Korra for continuing to give us content. Let's cover some more stuff here. Hit that like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications. I will be right back.
Beautiful girl, sparkling night, getting tight. I find a beautiful girl.
miss your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Make love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.
All right, great. Let's talk about Aunty Shaffy Bello. Shaffy Bello is she's a Nollywood actress. I guess she had an event last week or something like that a lot of people were supporting. I was seeing a bunch of people supporting some kind of event she had. But I guess she wanted to chime in on this, like everybody else is doing right now, on this conversation of a relationship of a thing. She wanted to chime in and she had something to say, and I'm going to read it, and we'll read some comments, and then we'll talk about it if we want to talk about it. The title from shout out to Instablog Nigeria says, if a man is bringing something to the table, a man should also bring something to the table. Right? Before I continue, let me engage the chat a little bit. I know there's only a few of us here. What do you think about that statement? Before I continue, it's not a trick. I want to know your authentic. I'm not asking a trick question. I want to know your authentic feeling about it. Before I continue. Okay, if you follow me on Instagram, man of prestige __, you would have seen my comment already. If you follow Instablog Nigeria as well, what do you think about that statement? If a man is bringing something to the table, a woman should also bring something to the table. All right, they probably paraphrasing as I always do. They make it sound good to be clickable, right? What do you think about that statement? If anything, I'll say in 3, 2, and 1. All right, let me go ahead and let's go. Let's see. There you go.
You're asking me what do I bring to the table? I'm sorry, I'm not one of those. I think we both.
Let's do that. Let's do it again.
Should ask ourselves, what do we both?
And let's do it again. Let's do it again.
Ladies, never tell a man, what do you mean? Why are you asking me what do I bring to the table?
She said, never tell a man, what do you mean? I'm watching it for the first time, by the way. Never tell a man, what do you mean? What do I bring to the table? Never tell a man that, right? I kind of subscribe to the same ideology, right? But let's see where she's going with this.
I'm sorry, I'm not one of those. I think we both should ask ourselves, what do
She said, I'm not one of those. We should both ask ourselves, right? Her what do you call it? Addiction. Her accent is accenting, right? So you can only expect more and more common sense stuff, right? Let's keep going.
we both bring it to the table? If he's bringing something to the table, what are you bringing to the table? I don't want a liability.
She said, if he's bringing some to the table, what do you bring to the table? She doesn't want liability. I don't know whose podcast is this. Me, her, and everything's pod. Okay.
If I'm a man, I don't want to marry a liability.
Oh yeah. Oh no. I'm always telling people that you can't be a liability.
I want a woman who's got. As a matter of fact, you're even more attractive when you don't need.
Yes, exactly. Like, babe. Oh,
you're more attractive.
Do you have this? Can I hold this till next?
The more attractive. I'm not hearing the accent very well. The accent is not sensitive for me. She said, let me play it all over again.
Sweet, yes,
absolutely.
Not the one
when you don't need me,
you're down. You're
more attractive. When you're just needy.
Oh, when you don't need me, you're more attractive. Right? I agree with that 100%. Of course. Needy people are just, nobody wants to be a part of that, right? Right?
And all that. Now, that's not attractive. So, yes, what do we both? Ladies, never tell a man, what do you mean? Why are you asking?
She said, yes, what do we both bring to the table, right? Somebody said, what do men bring to the table apart from money? That question is not nice. That question is not nice. Okay? That question is not nice either. Money is keke. It's a tool and it's valuable to many people, right? It's just that value actually, as money follows value though, not the other way around. But to be asking men what they bring to the table apart from money, that is ingrate that's talking, and that person is probably not going to end well in a relationship. All right. We can have this conversation she's having. We can have it another way. Sheon Jimo, is this a Sheon Jimo that I know? I think that's him. I think that's my brother, actually. Not my blood brother, just one of my brothers. He says, I have noticed that women who are actually self-reliant don't get offended when asked the question. Sheon, come on now. Sheon, stop. Sheon.
Stop the cap.
Stop the cap, okay? Most women still get offended by that question. There's just a real reason for it. And that's why I think the conversation is also...
Stop the cap.
This cap. Okay. All right. Let's keep going here. Hold on. Before... Sorry, pardon my manners. There's 2 comments here. Fune is giving well. Is that Stephanie Coker? She's still holding on to this British accent? Oh, British. Oh. I know that name. I don't know the face though. I know that name, Stephanie Coker. But let me see here. No, Sheon is capping big time. Most women still get offended by that question, and most women that will hear that question for the first time are still offended by the question. But there are real reasons why they're offended by the question, because that question is a loaded question. It's not a on the paper question. Like, of course, like, hey, you know, if it's just on the paper, if it's not pregnant with anything else, you ask me what I bring to the table. Like, what I bring to the table? I think I'm a nice guy. I'm a God-fearing man, right? I'm a, you know, I can tell you about 18 items on a list, right? A list of 18 items of what I am, right? I'm a nice guy. I'm a kind guy, right? I'm patient. I'm gonna treat you well. I'm gonna provide, I'm gonna protect. I already said about 4 or 5. God-fearing, all these things that I bring to the table, right? Yeah. Somebody said, Mr. Possidy said, it's funny that people talk about the obvious point more often than they talk about the real important point. The question is not whether we should all bring something to the table that is obvious. Somebody's already reading ahead of me. Somebody's like, that's cap. Somebody's like, stop the cap.
Stop the cap.
Right? We know that everyone should bring something to the table. That was not the conversation. You're moving the goalpost. Mario says, I've never been asked that question. If he's asking, he's not man enough for me. See, now somebody will hear that and will like, he's not man enough for you. Are you afraid? What are you not bringing to the table? Are you afraid that you don't have anything to bring to the table? Like, no, it has nothing to do with that. And I think that's where this next comment is going. And maybe it's either Aunty Shaffy is out of touch. She's never been asked that question too. So she's like, what's the big deal with the question, right? Yeah. So usually with that question comes a certain level of energy, right? And that energy for most women is like, oh, where are your balls? What's going on here? Did I go out? Am I on a date with the child or something? Yeah, the energy will show up. But it shouldn't be what it is. The reality is that it is. What are you going to do about that reality? That's the real question. The reality is that most people are going to be thrown off by the energy, the massive energy that comes with that question, or the terrible experience they've had with somebody who tend to ask that question. They're going to remember, you're going to remind them of the past experience. They're probably going to run away from you. And then you will still run back to the internet and say, why not just answer the question, right? Now, I've taught you guys here, ladies here, how to answer that question in the future. If you're someone that you really feel like you can give them a chance, you can flip it back and say, what would you like me to bring to the table, baby? You can say that back to him. If you want to give him a chance, that maybe it's a mistake. Maybe it's because the question is now so popular, they don't even know that the question is a pregnant question. There's some people like that, right? But for the most part, they're probably trying to test you, right? It's a test. And naturally, you're going to test each other. Just out of just natural interaction. So when somebody brings an additional layer of test to the table, it can't work. It cannot work. I heard somebody in my spirit. I said, oh, last stop the cap. Oh, last stop the cap. There's nothing wrong.
Stop the cap.
There's nothing wrong with this question. What is wrong with two adults having a conversation, right? First of all, both of you are not adults, okay? You are people on a date, okay? It just so happen not to be children, It's more importantly, you're on a date, right? So at least one person is trying to have a good time and get to know a person. Oh, maybe, I don't know. Listen. Let me stop the cap.
Stop the cap.
Everybody's trying to protect themselves right now. So I get it. You have your own 18 questions. She has her own 18 questions and vice versa, right? So it is okay, right? If it's okay. So what's the problem? Don't come back and tell me that the dating pool is successful. Don't come back and tell me that. Because there shouldn't be any problem if it's okay. Oh yeah, but people still have their own problem. No, these are one of the problems. So let me point it out for you, okay? Let me read it. Let me continue reading this. So this person said, it's funny that people talk about the obvious point more often than they talk about the real important point. The question is not whether we should all bring something to the table. That is obvious, like duh. The real problem is that what means different things to different people. I couldn't have explained any better. Let me just continue reading it. On some level, that's the what inside. What do you bring to the table? That what means different things to different people. That what is probably a bunch of unrealistic expectations, right? And probably stuff that has nothing to do with you. This person is probably already self-sabotage. They won't last on that date anyway. They're just wasting your time, right? On some level, everyone knows they want their partners to have something. What is difficult, however, is aligning the way they both see the respective values, perspective, outlook, right? How they see things, aligning it, right? So it used to be like, well, we're going to have a good time. I'm going to get to know you. If there's any red flag that I feel in my soul, I will just find my way out, right? Before I do this a couple of times, we're married, we have children, right? That doesn't mean it's perfect. We continue to do life together and we figure things out along the way. We resolve conflict. We keep moving. At the age of 60, 65, happily ever after. No, it was not perfect. Right? No, it wasn't perfect. Of course not. Why not? Because life is not freaking perfect. Okay? No, but marriage is supposed to be perfect. No, honestly, stop the cap. Most people don't say it like that, but they literally expect that. Right? So this person is explaining it very well. However, it's aligning the way they both see the respective values. I may think I bring a lot to the table, but it may not be what she's exactly looking for. What is important to A is not always important to B, vice versa. Usually, people just assume that if they have done well for themselves, assumption key there. That's true. A lot of people just have unrealistic assumptions everywhere. Based on their definitions of doing well, then they are a catch for anyone. Yeah, they think they're a catch. Like a 35, 36, 37-year-old man say, well, I am in my prime. I can't take any nonsense from any girl. I'm like, what do you mean? Yeah, there are people talking like that out there. Many, okay? They presume their advantages are obvious, but not necessarily. It is very important to understand what exactly the other person wants. This is why I said, as much as it's kind of like banter, a little seductive, when I say ask them, what would you like me to bring to the table, baby? If you ask them that question, it's also you actively trying to listen to their point of view without making any assumptions, right? Because they might not just be coming from the red pill. It might just be a natural question. It's kind of weird still for a man to be asking that question. Like, why are you on a date with a person that you don't kind of know? That you like them enough that you think, you feel that they already bring so much to the table and you can't wait to uncover more of the mystery, right? But anyway, it's very important to understand that exactly the other person wants, not merely what you think any person should want. You can move the world for a person, but if it's not the world they want to see you move, it means nothing. Baba, this guy gets I was looking for he definitely gets a heart from this. Good comment. But let me come to the chat for a second here. Very, very good comment. Love it. So I'm not sure if Aunty Shaffy knows what they were talking about. Like, yeah, of course you should, the diction, like, the accent. Aunty Shaffy was like English. Shout out to the DMV people. She's from the DMV. Like, We both should bring something to the table. She's correct. You know, you're even more attractive if you don't need that person. Correct. Auntie Shaffy, that question is disconnected from the answer in real life. But Party said you don't pop that question directly. Wisdom is profitable. Hallelujah. I couldn't say that any better. Thank you, sir. Thank you for teaching me. I didn't know how to write it. British. Oh, you're still on that British stuff. Auntie Shaffy doesn't get asked those kinds of questions, I bet. No, she doesn't. So, she unless you really break it down for her, yeah. This is a good answer, Natu. My response will be depending on what kind of table you have. Exactly, right? It shouldn't be. You should just tell us what you bring to whatever kind of table. It shouldn't be conditional, right? Just tell us. My dear, I'm not anything British. Actually looks better. I was laughing really hard. Hey, Jesus. So what type of table do you have, sir? At that point in time, they call you masculine. Are you a masculine? They're like, wait, are you masculine? No, I'm not masculine. I'm actually very feminine. Maybe you just want to say it as it is. Let's just shoot at each other as it is. Straight to the point. Are you masculine? Are you bringing masculinity to this table? Because I'm not interested. You know, you should pay for your own food too, because I'm going home right now. All right. I'm done. Listen. Ola, you're out of touch. You've been out of the game for 16 years. How would you know what's going on? Now they tell me. It's you guys that tell me what is going on. I didn't make this up, right? I made up the masculinity part. But what do you bring to the table part? No, I didn't make that up. That is a real thing, you know. What type of table do you have, sir? If you have a glass table, then we need lighter stuff. And if one of the legs on the table is missed, then you need a carpenter and not. Now that's funny. You need a carpenter and not me. Now, what do you mean the legs are missing? Who determines if the legs are missing? They're actually supposed to be 3 gold legs. And if you press on one side too much, it will fall apart. Now, knowing that there's 3 legs on this table and it's supposed to be because we brought it from Dubai, what do you bring to the table? Because I'm starting to smell masculinity. What do you bring to the table? That's what's wrong with y'all women of today. These modern women. Baba, your neck go break if you don't calm down right now. Your neck go break. Take it easy. Listen. Auntie Shaffy was that. I don't think she was. I'm not sure she understood what was going on with that question. What do you bring to the table remains a very stupid question. That's the verdict. It remains a very stupid question. It means you don't know what you're doing, and it means you shouldn't be on a date. It means you should go back to school, talk to someone. Go back to high school and mess around with a few girls that you don't really have to go on a date, you know. And then, you know, maybe before you take someone out on the date, you kind of have an idea what they already bring to the table, right? Yeah, very, very easy. It's so easy. You're overworking yourself. If you have to go on a date to ask all of these crazy questions, you're overworking yourself. It will not work. Could it work? I promise. Okay, it will not work. For most women, are not going to be Auntie Shaffy. Okay, you will just go there and collect. Let me just warn you. Okay, you know, somebody will just abuse your family members. Okay, and then you just be like masculine women. You're like, okay. Good luck. Okay, ladies, if somebody asks you that question and you really like them, you know, like Natu said, you know, if you already feel like there are 3-legged table here, ask them to call a carpenter. Okay, and if you feel like the table is glass, then you can look at the table and say, you know, what would you like me to bring to the table? You know, And then don't assume you know what they mean. Like that brother that left that comment said, don't assume you know what they mean. Have them break it down, what they mean by the table and what would they like on that table. And have a conversation, just get to know them. If you like them enough, but I would definitely start watching at that point in time, because there's probably going to be more questions like that. Okay, those questions will basically indicate that this is a person that don't know what they're doing, and they're looking for someone to coach them. They're looking for a wife, a girlfriend to coach them, and it has nothing to do. It's literally irrelevant from the fact that you bring something to the table. Just irrelevant, you know. I met a Nigerian woman at the store yesterday, and both of us are hosting Thanksgiving. She made turkey and told everyone what to bring. For me, just show up with an empty stomach. Everything was good. Abby, you don't have to bring nothing to the table, right? I see a table with 2 legs, an unhealed human that has his life all over the place, asking what I'm bringing to the table. Masculine care, I'm a baby girl for life. I just want to relax and be taken care of. Another angle. Another angle. All right. Do me a favor, hit that like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications, and please share these videos. We're working. Okay, we're building a catalog. It's a big catalog. Okay, so help me share. All right, and let's get into some more. I'll be right back.
Beautiful girl, sparkling night, killing time. I find a beautiful girl.
Girl, it's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Make love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.
All right, let's talk about Teyana Taylor and Iman Shumpert. Is there anybody in the chat that doesn't know who Teyana Taylor is? Anybody here? If you don't know who Teyana Taylor is here, let me know. Please let me know, because I'm still trying to gauge the kind of topics. And let me be honest, I'm just curious. Okay, I'm gonna keep covering American stuff. Okay, more American stuff, because that's one thing, that's one value we can bring to the Nigerian community and all this kind of stuff. Okay, including the American community. Okay, I'll continue to do both. Okay, but I want to know, if you're here, say 1 in the chat if you know who Teyana Taylor is, and say 2 in the chat if you don't know who Teyana Taylor is. Okay, say 1 in the chat if you know who Teyana Taylor is. If you don't, put a 2 in the chat for me really quickly. Everybody, please do that for me, all 5 of you. All right, let me just gauge something really fast. 1. Okay, I see 1. Okay, 1. Okay, all right, so most of us here know. It sounds like we know who Teyana Taylor is. All right, good. All right, so Teyana Taylor is a young lady, okay, that came up as a dancer. You know, it's American singer, songwriter, actress. She's also an actress, actually. You know, but I'm not sure what she's most known for. I think it's more of a dancer. Okay, but she goes as far back as 2006. You know, because she choreographed a music video for Beyonce, but she's a whole superstar in her own right. And she also had a reality TV show with the husband. All right, now she's not one of those situations that I would say was obvious. No, it wasn't obvious, which is even a real reason why I have to cover this. Okay, because majority of the situations out there are not going to be obvious when they end up in divorce. They're going to be like, I didn't see that coming. You just hear one of your friends is already divorced. You didn't see it coming, because they showed up so well, even as a couple, and you didn't see it coming. I mean, you probably can tell that there's a disconnect, and it's typically, most of the time, not social media news, just in life in general, most of the time is going to be situations that nobody thought will end up like that. Right? It's not DV situation. It's not the extremes that we tend to see that go viral for the most part on the internet. A lot of the people with the talking points are mostly speaking to the talking point. They're speaking to the most viral stuff. People talk about boundaries, they talk about domestic violence, they talk about all this extreme stuff, narcissism and all this kind of stuff. They are speaking speaking to or speaking from a standpoint or projecting their own life that it must be so terrible like that, right? And feelings are powerful like that. Feelings are very powerful. They can make you feel like things are bigger than what they actually are, or the other way around, but usually bigger, right? So it's something that we have to be, that's the whole point of self-awareness. That's the whole point of emotional intelligence, social intelligence, right? That's the whole point of that. And power intelligence. We want you to be able to look at yourself, look at your situation and say, well, is it really that bad? And sometimes it can be that bad. And you have to say, it's that bad. But being able to pause for a second and ask that question, is it that bad, will empower you, right? Rather than just flying off the handle and just doing anyhow, which is what a lot of people do, even before it gets that bad. So even if it's not bad, you can't really tell, but the results become bad because people attract what they fear the most. All right, so she's one of those persons that I looked at and said, okay, she's kind of like a loudmouth, talk like very sassy, but down to earth, right? Wanted to be a wife, wanted to be a mother. She became a mother, I don't know how many times now. I know at least once, right? But also wanted to be a star because she is a star, right? Wanted to be a star because she is a star. And sadly, this situation has ended up really badly. This young man, I don't really pay attention to him. I think he plays sport. I'm not sure because I don't watch sports. So, but let me just go ahead and read this. That's just a little bit I know about them, right? But this title on TMZ.com says Teyana Taylor secretly filed to divorce Iman. He's a jealous narcissist. Okay. Now, Teyana Taylor came out some few hours ago, said she did not make those statements, but those are, let me take you back. She didn't say that she did not make the statement. She said she didn't make any public statement. That these were in documents that they were sealed at the court, but they leaked. Okay? That's what she said earlier on, a few hours today. Chinye says, Teyana makes a lot of sense to me as well. Okay, he's an NBA player and his career is winding down. Yeah, so, and you know how that goes, right? That's going to put the relationship at test, especially if you're not self-aware, especially if you're not secure in yourself, right? Secure in yourself does not mean finances. Okay, it can be a lot more difficult when the finances are being tested, right? It's a little bit easier to quote unquote claim you're secure in yourself when you're financially strong, right? But yeah, but Patrick said too. Don't worry, I'm bringing you up to speed now, but Patrick. So she's a songwriter, singer, superstar, and he's a basketball player. Okay, so I'm just gonna read this statement. So she came out and said she did not make this public statement, but they were statements and they were leaked from document according to her. Okay, in fact, what she said precisely is this. This is a statement she made that was posted by Shade Room 2 hours ago. She said, I mind my business. That's what she said. I mind my business, don't bother nobody, and y'all know I've never played about my children, family, and our privacy. I have not spoken on this private matter to any media outlets or blogs, etc. So everyone claiming Teyana said didn't get any statement directly from me. She didn't say they didn't get it indirectly. She said directly from me. Did you pick that up? All right, good. These statements were taken from private court documents that were leaked to the public. It is very heartbreaking that someone would take out the time to make such a private matter public for the world to see. Well, this is media, and people's livelihood is part of media. Media was created partly to make life equal for everyone, to make life fair for everyone. So when you're a public figure, this is just how it works. Sorry, you should know that, Teyana. Anyway, however, protecting my family is one thing I've always done, and for my children, I will continue to do so. Please, if y'all play nieces, Junie and Rue, okay, so she got two, like y'all have shown, please allow myself and my family some privacy to resolve this matter in peace. Love y'all. Okay, so that's what she said. Okay. All right. So now, according to this is the original from 2 days ago on TMZ. Teyana Taylor secretly filed to divorce Iman. He's a jealous narcissist. That's what the title says. So I'm going to read. Teyana's lawyer, Tanya Mitchell Graham, released a statement regarding the divorce saying Ms. Taylor has tried to resolve this matter amicably and privately in order to protect all parties involved, particularly the parties' minor children. And I quote, Ms. Taylor requests that the parties' privacy be respected such that the parties and their minor children are not negatively impacted and the parties' divorce can be finalized. Iman's lawyer, Stephen C. Steele, tells TMZ Mr. Shumpert hopes parties and counsel can work toward a fair resolution, keeping the best interest of the children of paramount concern. All right, nice PR statements. Teyana Taylor and Iman Shumpert are getting divorced. She secretly moved to end their marriage nearly a year ago and claims he's been a jealous narcissist during their 7-year marriage. 7 years. Yeah, that's sad. It's just sad. According to new legal documents, I mean, they were just right there. If you go past that 7 and just cross the 10, I don't know. Fantasies. All right. Let's see here. Hold on a second. Just wanted to show you this. Yep. That's a picture on TMZ. So let's see here. According to new legal documents obtained by TMZ, Teyana filed to divorce the former NBA star way back in January, more than 8 months before they announced the separation. So more than 8 months later, right? You know, and did you know that separation, I think only, that's a percentage, I can't recall right now, but I think it's only 83%. No, sorry, only 17% of people that separate actually make it back together. Now that's a scary stat if you're considering separation, but it doesn't mean you shouldn't go through it. It just means you should be separating with an intention to actually do the work. It's true that sometimes you have to back off of each other to be able to see clear, have some clarity on what you're dealing with. But you need to be aware of that stat. 17% will actually make it. So the odds are against you, but not if you do the work, right? If you do the work and you understand that the grass is not necessarily greener on the other side. If you see any ounce, any level of change, somebody is actually interested in changing, right? If you see anything, there are 3 people missing likes. If you can please hit that like button if you're missing the like, thank you, right? If you see that, then you just be willing to work on it, right? But again, only you can decide that. I'm just saying you should be aware of the stats. Only 17% makes it through, and it looks like Will Smith and Jada are going to be one of the 17% after 7 years. Anyway, let me continue reading. In the docs, Teyana details the demise of their marriage, accusing Iman of being jealous about her fame and feeling insecure about being good enough for her, despite the fact he was earning way more playing basketball than she could ever dream of making in music. Teyana claims Iman would grow annoyed when they would attend public events together, and photographers would ask for him to step out of frame. He would just be annoyed. Now, the real question, was he annoyed because it's like, nah, we gotta go? Or was he annoyed because he was jealous? Right? I don't know. Right? The only thing that Teyana can talk about is her experience. She felt that he was jealous. And gentlemen, you need to be aware that even if that's not your intention, you can be received. The way you act can be received as jealousy. That's not fair. Well, welcome to the real world. Right? Welcome to the real world, right? But what can you do with that, right? If somebody is receiving you as jealous, right, and that's not your intention, well, you have information. What are you going to do with that information? There's a discombobulation between the information you have now, your intentions, and how the person's experience. Your intentions can oftentimes be completely discombobulated. Why am I using that word? Disconnected from the actual experience that is being received on the other end. Just be aware of that and work around that. Learn how to navigate that. And don't take it so personally. Well, you will, but have some self-control and just see it for what it is, right? Intentions, the experience that the other person is having. And a lot of marriages go through this. That wasn't my intentions. And then that becomes an argument. No, you intended, you're a liar. You know, you did it, you did it. Are you able to say, well, I'm sorry you received it that way. That wasn't my intentions. After you say that once, do you feel a need to shalaye with extra gaslighting coming around it? Are you able to slow down and just listen without feeling like you've been defeated? Or without feeling like, well, I don't get to say anything. Can you be that patient? All of that will be tested, right? And you're right. Maybe you don't have much to lose. Maybe you don't feel the need to protect that family like in that manner. Maybe you don't feel like it's a family worth protecting or keeping together anymore. I don't know. But these are the things that, as a grown man, you would assess, right? But you're also having your own experience. So what about my own experience? I understand. Betty, what are you going to do with this information? It's completely up to you. Those are the cards you're dealt. What are you going to do with that information? You don't get to run away from this. This is actively your problem. Also her problems, yes. Right? Okay, she should lead. Okay, good. If that's sustainable for you, wait for her to lead. Is it doable? Yes. Is it sustainable? I don't think so. Our social construct is not set up that way. Right? It might happen one time, a second time, but on an ongoing basis, you want to be able to show up as a leader, and sometimes that makes you take one for the team. Well, that's just one. I know. Again, what is it worth to you, right? So let me continue. She says when Iman signed a $40 million contract with the NBA's Cleveland Cavaliers in 2015, the same year he was also paid $8 million by the New York Knicks, he remained aggravated by her notoriety. So this wasn't even about money. He was making money, but he was aggravated about her notoriety. Jealous of her acting career and insecure about being her man. Well, if this has been going on for 15 years, a quote-unquote modern woman, it just will start to not make sense to them. It's not making sense. Okay, they have options. Okay, they have options. Whereas illusion of options, they don't really have options. Listen, as was right now in this moment, your wife feels like she has options. Okay, if you are right, if you happen to be right, that they are not real options. Okay, if you happen to be right.
Oh, you're right.
By the time we figure that out, your family is broken apart. Okay? And I will leave that to you to hold whoever you want to hold accountable, responsible for that, because it's your family. I'll let you figure that out. But I'm just showing you the reality, right? By the time you figure out that you're right, because I know you're right. You're experienced too, right? By the time you figure that out, you get to determine if I did the right thing, then I will agree with you too. Okay, but I just want you to pay attention to all those nuances there, right? Now, he remained aggravated by the notoriety, jealous of her acting career, and insecure about being her man. Sources with direct knowledge tell TMZ Teyana wanted to keep this private as long as possible, initially choosing to file with their initials. However, Iman's recent filing in the divorce proceedings included full names, thus trusting everything into the spotlight. So she was using initials, and then it's like, nah, man, I'm going to let's just tell the whole world. You're angry? Okay, let's just remember, women will multiply for you. They will multiply what you bring to the table, right? What do you bring to the table? Just bring something, I'll multiply for you. Ladies, don't say that though. That's anti-seductive. Teyana claims that that's when Iman started sending her negative text messages with condescending. Well, oh, Bernie. She filed for divorce, right? And she expected nice text messages. Listen, most of these men are not built that way. They're not built like our fathers, okay? All right, like, you want to get dirty? Well, I'm gonna get dirty too, right? Teyana claims that's when Iman started sending her negative text messages with condescending and manipulative language in response to her being in the spotlight. She claims he would pick fights with her for no reason, even on her birthday, and then apologize. Yeah, I've been there. I've been that guy, to be honest with you. You don't necessarily intend to pick fights. That's not the intention. But when you find yourself in this funky place and you lose control emotionally, you just start saying all kind of stuff. And yes, effectively you're being manipulative. How? Because there's something you're looking for, but you're going about it the wrong way. She's clearly on her way out, and you're like, further away. Okay? And if you're not as lucky, you will lose your family. Okay? In the docs which Teyana filed in Georgia, she says she now feels Iman was treating her cruelly and displaying extreme narcissistic behavior throughout the majority of their marriage. She says she began to intentionally dim her light for her husband to try to have a harmonious and peaceful marriage as Iman became more and more angry about her stardom. If a woman has to do that, no, forget that she has to do that, because I know you're about to argue with me. I never made her feel like she has to do that. Listen to me. It doesn't have to be your fault. It's actually your fault. Let me just say it. Okay? Let me say it like this. If a woman feels like she has to dim her light, remember she's supposed to multiply everything, but she's now feeling like she has to dim her light. It's not sustainable. Is that physics enough for you? Logic, people? It's not if she generally blossoms if she's happy, right? Naturally, she wants to be happy too, right? But she's now feeling she has some kind of light around her, and that she's a rock star and people appreciate her, they celebrate her. She's a celebrity, right? And she now has to add additional energy. She feels like, it's not your fault, Motigbo, but she feels like she has to dim those lights. It's not sustainable. You cannot cover fire with rapper. It's not going to work, okay? It's not going to work, right? You're just going to destroy it. That's all you're going to do, directly or indirectly. It's not your fault. It's your fault indirectly. Whatever you want to call it. This is your life. So maybe that wasn't your intentions, but somehow the way you're moving, somehow the dynamics of your relationship, not your fault, granted, has made her feel like she has to dim her light, right? Shout out to all the panderers who are saying women that are saying that, right? When you enter a situation and you feel like somebody is like, you have to cover lights down, right? It's not sustainable. Ultimately, you're always going to look for someone who will make you feel safe and secure. Subconsciously. Okay? You don't have to admit to that. It's just the way it works. You're going to be looking for that. It's not sustainable. So it makes sense so far. I don't know what happened in there, but from what I'm reading, why she might be trying to run away. Okay? What's more, Teyana says she turned down recording opportunities and acting gigs because Iman did not want her to work. Who knows? Maybe he had schedule clash and it was like, babe, we can't do that right now. Well, I have to go there, and she started to I don't know if she's lying. I don't know. But what I'm saying is that if there's any ounce of truth to this, she will run. That's effectively what's going to happen. And that's what's happening. Okay? But she says when she stopped working after giving birth to one of their kids, Iman complained about her not making money. Really? The money was drying up? What happened to the $15 million and the $8 million? Teyana says she fought to keep their family together despite Iman being extremely emotionally and mentally abusive toward her. Usually, that's both of them doing that to each other, by the way. Usually, I don't know, but usually it's fire for fight for fight. That's the way it plays out, okay? It's just that men don't interpret emotional and mental abuse. They don't until it's too late, okay? Like, so she says she used her connections to get her Iman gigs in Hollywood as his NBA career wound down, but says he unfortunately insisted on bickering to the point where in 2021 she began the divorce process in 2021. Now, here's the thing. A lot of our narration is also laced with emotions, naturally so. This is an emotional experience, okay? It's just what it is. She says they reconciled, but it was short-lived because Iman remained in an insecure state as his NBA career continued to wind down. Ouch. Yeah. He wouldn't know if he did not have proper counsel around him. He simply would not know what to do with himself. Okay? He just wouldn't know. And asking a woman to continue to support that emotionally, it's a lot. It's a lot. You know, I can't judge. Everybody's threshold is different, right? And you never know how little emotional experience people have, that they will start hearing voices in their head. That they'll start having panic attacks. That's BS. You're just trying to make it what it is. See? You see how stupid that sounds? Because again, that's not you. It's the other person. Right? Teyana says in 2022, she found herself being manipulated and controlled by Iman and filed for divorce, only to ask her legal team to withdraw the filing one day later. Because it's never, they just want to come and take all the money. It's never that simple. A lot of time, people will go back and forth when they file this divorce. They'll go back and forth mentally, emotionally for a long time before they pull the trigger. When they pull the trigger, they'll still go back and forth. Okay? Just letting you know. That's how the human mind works. Logically speaking. Teyana says she finally pulled the trigger in January because she was unable to handle the emotional roller coaster. All right. So yeah, this man probably just couldn't do what he couldn't do. He couldn't help himself, you know. And it's not one of the lucky ones, okay? But all of this, just do you. Just do you. What works for everyone is different. It's a lie, okay? We can trace this backwards and we can learn some things, and you don't have to repeat the same problems. That's a lie. We have a lot more in common than we like to admit. Okay. Maria says, I think this couple admitted to threesomes as well. Wahala. Hey.
Hey! I hear me to me, but me.
I don't know. Listen. I'm willing to bet that there are many couples that have engaged in such behavior and still made it through. But, you know, there's many layers, right, to this, right? But this one additional layer cannot help, okay? I don't think it can help. This is, that makes sense. That makes sense that they probably did something stupid like that. Probably with a stripper too. Resentments everywhere. Hey. Yeah. Let me see. She claims Iman has been involved in multiple cheating scandals, speaking of, during their marriage, and cites his DUI arrest and recalls the time in 2022 when he was arrested for weed possession in an airport. Teyana also alleges Iman once crashed a Rolls Royce and fled the scene to avoid a second DUI arrest. That's reckless. That's reckless behavior. Teyana says she tried to stay with Iman through thick and thin, but says he reacted with further cruel treatment and selfishness. He probably said, why can't you just like rock with me? I rock with you, yo. Why can't you just rock with me, man? Like, we have a little problem, you're running away. Listen, you never know. when enough is enough for some people. You can mayara one brain. You just never know. After she secretly filed for divorce, she says Iman insisted on them getting back together, only to be lackadaisical and inconsistent. Yes. So the best form of apology is change behavior, right? But you need to be consistent. Okay? You need to be consistent. If you're not consistent, it destroys trust even further. Okay? Because you're literally directly destroying trust. Like if you're going to change, right, and you're doing back and forth, you're destroying it. There's already a problem with trust, right? And you're destroying it further. But trust is not, it's a symptom. If you're consistent, people don't really have a choice, especially women don't have a choice than to trust you, because you're replacing the bad experiences in the past with new experiences. So really the solution to trust issues is to be consistent, show up all the time. And people will generally look to the past with rose gold color lens if they feel safe. Now they start looking at all the good times and the new experiences, and that will eventually replace the traumatic effect of whatever went wrong in the past. But if you don't know what you don't know, lack of skills, lack of game is a bastard. You're not intentional. You're like, please just come back to me, and then you come back and then you do it. Yeah, it just gets worse. Right? So she said inconsistent and become involved in another cheating scandal, which she says was embarrassing and humiliating. Yeah, that would do it. That would do it right there. That would do it. That's the issue with a lot of these people. A lot of people, as a matter of fact, it's nothing peculiar about them. A lot of people are going through the same issues. They don't realize how these small things, and they might get into a place later on and just feel like, well, it wasn't that bad. Well, to you, it wasn't that bad. You're having a whole different human experience. The person, quote unquote, on the receiving end of it, enough might be enough for them much earlier than you think. It is what it is. And especially as a man, you need to be aware of that. You need to be okay with that. That's called repercussion. It's called being able to own your own, do your time. If you commit the crime, you do your time. Sometimes even without doing the time, as a man, as a leader, even without doing the crime, you do the time. Welcome to the real world. It's not fair. You're right. You were there for her doing her own. Yeah, I know. Everybody's different. Everyone is different. As we reported, this is according to TMZ, Teyana announced their separation in September and said, to be 1000% clear, infidelity ain't one of the reasons for her departure. Well, she lied. She lied. All right. Now, infidelity is a symptom. Okay. It doesn't mean you're at fault or you caused it. It just means when people are not secure in themselves, they will participate in bad behavior. Okay. And sometimes it looks very nasty. Sometimes it's normalized by even women themselves. Okay. Now, she says was just being graceful towards him. She was just being graceful at that time and lying at the same time. Teyana says Iman left their family home in October and hasn't spent significant time with their 2 children since then. Well, if he's acting single out there because he's dealing with his personal issues, and listen, men run around the internet talking about they're fighting for custody. It's a lie. It's a lie for the most part. Most men, they don't want that custody like that.
Why the fuck you lying?
They might want it just to get back at you. They might run their mouth on the internet just to get back at modern women, but it's a lie. It's a lie.
Abba, you lie. Sabi lie.
It's a lie. It's a lie. Most men just want to be a man. They want to support, protect, provide for a woman who protects the children. And, but bad behavior can get in the way of all of that and destroy that. It's just what it is, My job on this page is to bring gossip, Marriott. You're doing well, Marriott. You get that right. Men don't usually interpret emotional and mental abuse until it's too late. Yes, but men go through them. Yep, exactly. Until it's too late. Iman might regret everything later if she's trying so hard to hold on and you turn around and cheat at that time, it's sure not going to help. Nah, it's not going to help. It's going to destroy the trust. The small trust you built that made her say, yeah, maybe not even a real trust. Maybe you can make it work. This was my best friend. You shoot all of that in the head for every time you do any kind of inconsistent behavior, even if you don't mean to. Like, for example, a lot of men participate in manipulative and controlling behavior without necessarily being the intention. Does that mean you should help them? No, they need to seek help. They need to talk to a coach, talk to a counselor, okay? Because there are tools in place to help them. Plus, when you learn this and you master this game, it actually becomes a skill for you in other aspects of life too. All right? So, but when you say there's no need for a game, you should just do it naturally, just do you. I can help you, right? But the result will continue to do what it does or what it do. Anyway, so Teyana lied to protect him. Women do that all the time. Women will lie to their own family members to protect their significant other because it's embarrassing for them to admit. Especially when you have how many millions of monitoring spirit on the internet? She probably has at least 6-7 million monitoring spirit on the internet. So let's check it out, shall we? Let's see how many monitoring spirit she has on Instagram alone. Let's see. Oh, my bad. I was wrong. She has 17.3 million monitoring spirit. Can you imagine how embarrassing all of this would be to both of them? Okay. But that's what happens when you have bad behavior, when you're drunk, when you can't. All right, I don't know what she's going to show me next. She'll be showing all this cocoa and stuff. Let me just leave that page. Let's leave that page alone, shall we? Let's leave that page alone. Let's come back to this. All right. So let's see. So Teyana says Iman left their home in October. She's asking for temporary and permanent primary physical custody plus joint legal custody and child support. She's asking for child support. Okay. She's probably making more money now. Let's see here. TMZ broke the story. Teyana and Iman got hitched back in 2016, tying the knot while wearing biker jackets. All right. Let me just play this audio for you all, and then we'll take it from there. We'll continue the story. I'm gonna play this audio from TMZ.
I'm not a sports scientist.
Let's see here.
Esco.com.
I think you referred to Iman as your husband. I was just, is there some news? I mean, is there something that I missed?
Oh, let's make some news.
Oh my God. Right. Is there some news? No, that's my husband. That's my husband.
So you guys are married?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
We grabbed our biker jackets. I said, honey, let's go. Grab your biker jacket.
Man, that man ain't lit that.
They're married.
After she put all them videos out.
Oh, she has a beautiful smile. I didn't realize. She should smile more.
That's for real. She already married. Locked down still. That's it. Y'all gotta go find y'all another one.
That's why I love my husband, though, because he been locked it down. He been locked it down.
That's a good job.
When did this marriage take place, though?
Huh?
When did this marriage take place?
None of y'all business. Dang, call me back when we do the big wedding. We got you. We got you.
If you like what you just saw, videos, great stories.
All right. So that was them right there. That's the 2015. They said they got married back in 2015. I guess 7 years. Oh, it's 2016. 7 years. They did 7 years. It's okay. It's nothing special about them now because we're seeing more and more of this news. But for those of you listening to me and you don't want this to be part of your stories, that's probably why you're here. Listen to me, okay? Listen to me, okay? Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. watching some of this story unfold. But I'm gonna try and start covering some good stories. People that have, when I say good story, they've almost ended it, but they figured something out. I'll see if I can cover some of those stories, because I think that will be extremely valuable and for what we're doing here, for what we're trying to do here, you know. Anyway, so that's the report from TMZ. They said now she says their marriage is irretrievably broken, which seems painfully obvious based on the litany of issues between them, at least in our eyes. We reached out to Iman's camp and the rep for Teyana. So far, no word back. That's that. So, anybody, if you have something to share, please. The link is pinned to the top. But I've got a few lessons, one or two, that I want us to cover right now before I end the show today. I like this. We're gonna end the show on time. Got it. Love it. All right. First thing first. Okay. As always, effective communication is key. Not communication. I don't trust your definition of communication. I just don't. Okay. A lot of people, a lot of you all, just think talking is communication. Right? Even talking back and forth is not communication. A conversation is not necessarily communication. Okay? Effective communication is 80% listening, particularly from an effort standpoint. Okay? It doesn't mean you're measuring time and making sure. No. The idea is not to shame your partner into doing 80%. It's to put the effort into your own, do a little bit more listening, especially when there's crisis going on and you need to handle crisis. Okay? If your partner feels heard, you're probably going to win that battle. Okay? And you will get what you want. What you want is not to do the most talking. That's not what you're looking for. But your action is literally indicating that what you want is just to talk more. Okay? Effective communication is key. Effective communication is not necessarily conversation. It's not necessarily verbal either. Okay? So that's the first lesson I wanted to share with you. The second lesson I want to share with you is when people are ambitious. Okay? That's once upon a time. My father would use the language over ambitious. I'm like, I asked him, you saw my interaction with my father, we're like best friends. Okay? So even sometimes I come off, I will catch myself like, why am I being disrespectful? Right? But I'm not being disrespectful, we're just close like that, right? And you know, he will use the language over ambition, like, that killing me now, over ambitious, right? So I've always been, I shoot high in terms of ambition, right? So he would use it and it would trigger me. I was like, I don't know if there's such a thing that's over ambitious, but as time went on, I kind of understand where it's coming from, which is still me actively trying to understand where people are coming from, right? Like where it's coming from is that, you know, manage, you know, like looking for so much attention and not knowing that you need to manage that. That will be, you know, that can be easily blocked in with over ambitious, right? But when you're with a partner, particularly a romantic partner, and they tend to be ambitious, and they are very ambitious, right? The last thing you want to do is shoot that down. It's literally a part of a person's identity, right? And a lot of times it can be indirect. You don't mean any harm, right? But you need to be very, very careful when you are indirectly taming somebody's ambitions, right? So we gotta be careful for it. It's very, very important that partners support each other. They just put a little additional effort. You might even think like, oh, babe, you know, we have to babysit at this time. This thing doesn't make sense. Make sure you're always coming from a place of empathy, that you're still trying to help them achieve what they want to achieve. And I'm not talking about girls trip. If your girl is asking for girls trip, it's already bad, terrible. Your problem is not the girls trip. The issues are deeper. But I'm talking about ambition. She happens to be an actress. She's always been an actress, a dancer, and she's want to do this thing. She wants to become a doctor. She wants to go all the way in and get all the PhD. It doesn't mean it will actually happen. If it happens, it's a blessing for everybody, because she will feel a level of self-accomplishment that she will probably share that experience with you, right? But on both sides, you just gotta be careful with that. We have to respect each other's ambitions, and but respect your partner's ambition. That's what I want you to focus on. Don't focus on respect each other's ambition. You respect your partner's ambition. It doesn't mean you have to agree to everything. That's not what it means. It just means you have to, when you're approaching a conversation about it, You're understanding that is dear to them, and they probably want your support. If they want your support, why wouldn't you want to give it to them? Especially if it's moral, emotional support in nature. It just makes sense, right? Exactly. Number 3 lesson that I want to share with you today is this controlling behavior of a thing. This controlling behavior thing, a lot of men are still arguing that there is such a thing as controlling behavior. Let me help you. It's not about your intentions. If your counterpart, your partner is receiving you as controlling behavior, it doesn't mean you're controlling. It just means you should pay attention. They're receiving that experience in that way. You should pay attention. If they keep receiving that, your experience in that way, yes, you will become one of the data statistics out here. I mean, you can run around and blame her and shame her all you want. It's only going to get worse. But clearly, you've never really paid attention to even understand where stuff is coming from, right? You've never really paid attention. So whatever is creating that experience that looks like controlling behavior on the end, you continue to perpetuate it because you said it wasn't controlling behavior. It's not about the label. Whatever it is that she's receiving or he's receiving as controlling behavior, you need to pay attention, okay? Especially gentlemen, okay? Because you're the one that's mostly arguing with some of this stuff, right? So it's detrimental to relationships, okay? Because if you don't feel safe, secure, if you don't feel a sense of freedom in a romantic relationship, it's going to backfire badly. Number 4, okay, emotional abuse, okay? Like I said earlier, emotional verbal abuse is usually two-way, okay? There are some exceptions, okay, minority, where somebody is just outrightly being the devil, a monster, okay? But majority of the situation is both ways. The only part you should focus on is, number 1, if you feel, you as an individual, if you feel, it doesn't have to be accurate. Don't let anybody shame you into it has to be their own version. If you feel like you're being emotionally abused, back off, stay away, go to a hotel room, go to your mother's house, take some time off, okay? Because it's not going to work. It's only going to get worse, okay? That's number 1. So, because you can't give what you don't have. If you're feeling emotionally abused in a situation, it's just going to get bad. And like I said, gentlemen, a lot of you don't pay attention until it's too late, okay? If somebody's just, like, you feel terrible just being around them, and you just feel like you're not yourself, you feel like your self-esteem is being shattered, you don't feel like you can speak in the relationship, you need to back off, because you're probably going to continue to mimic the level of self-respect you have for yourself. She probably lost respect for you already. Now, on the flip side of things, right, if a person is saying you're being emotionally abused, you have to pay attention. You have to pay attention. You don't have to say it is true or it means exactly that or go into the dictionary meaning. You need to pay attention to the experience. What is it that's making this person feel like I'm being emotionally abused? You can't really do that if you don't back off. You need to back off and say, back off, then active listening, okay? Take some time off if you need to. Every healthy relationship, I've mastered that. Learning how to take some time off, okay? Last but not least, attention. Attention is a double-edged sword. You have too much of it, it can destroy you. So if you have a public life of any sort, it needs to be managed. That's why they have public relations. It needs to be managed. It could be your child. You need to know this. It could be your child that becomes a basketball superstar in the future. They need to learn this when they are 13, 12 years old. They will need to manage that. That's an additional layer of life issues that they need to worry about, because it will tamper with everything else that matters in their life. And if they don't know that, oh yeah, you know what time it is. They will collect. Life will show them shaggy. Natu Alpha, hit that like button, share,
I'm
subscribe.
good though. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving to you, lady. What's going on? How you been? You good?
I'm tired.
You're tired?
I'm tired. I hosted yesterday.
After 2 days of rest?
Yeah, but nobody saw.
After 2 days of rest, you're
I
still
hosted
tired?
Thanksgiving yesterday.
Oh, you said you were cooking, you were hosting people, right?
I hosted Thanksgiving on MOP.
Huh?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
I think there's a little delay from my side.
Oh, a little delay. Okay. I see that. Do you want to drop out or drop back in? Let me see.
Yeah.
Not Chinye says not
Yeah,
necessarily.
let me drop out.
Drop out and come right back in. I'll wait for you. Yeah. Let's see. Not necessarily. Her friend could be celebrating her 45th birthday party, and she wants to go on the trip. Oh, you're still fighting for the girls' trip then? No. Listen, if that's the case, he wouldn't be complaining. Trust me. If he's complaining, there's something else is going on already. Can you hear me now? Yeah, she's probably still getting delay.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Can you hear me? Talk to me back now.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, all right, good.
Yes.
All right, good.
Yes,
good.
I can.
So what's up now? Which one of these stories today did you?
All of it. First of all, why were you guys laughing at my table? I said, what kind of table do you have?
Oh, the table.
But that's the truth, though.
Mm-hmm. It is.
Yeah,
it
but
is.
that's the
I found
truth.
the analogy quite useful.
Yeah, you know, I sent a link yesterday. I was listening to TD Jakes, and I sent the link to the group for everybody to watch.
Right.
Because I found like there was so much value in that video that he was talking about winning at home. Like you're winning outside and winning at home. Like you gotta find a balance. You understand what I'm saying? And there's something that you always mention on this channel about couples that you say all the time. It's not a competition.
It's not.
Everybody has their own role to play. So the moment that you start seeing your partner as your competition, there's a problem.
It's a problem already. Yeah.
Yeah. So
that's the point where you should be saying we need to go to counseling at that point.
Right. And you made something about what people were talking about women being masculine, men being feminine, and you said you don't want to be a woman. Trust me, you don't want to be a woman.
Exactly.
You don't want to be a woman because you don't want to be in other person's shoes. So but what's really sad in that I think sometimes we get carried away, and you also emphasizes on whatever we feed grows. So if you're like focus on what I'm doing and what the other person is not doing, that's what you're going to like be focused on, and you're gonna like miss on the good side of the person. You're gonna miss on that valuable thing that the other person brings to the table. And then before you say 1, 2, 3, you guys are falling apart. And then before you say we're falling apart, you're already far apart that you can't get yourself closer anymore.
Yeah.
This thing becomes too deep.
Yeah. The resentments just get deeper and deeper. Yeah.
Right. So that's another thing. And you know, sometimes when you were talking about what's her name, the last lady you spoke about, that you said when she said earlier, she said just to make things clear, infidelity was not one of the reasons, or is not one of the reasons why they suppress something like that. And now documents are showing that. So sometimes when we enable bad behavior, it comes to bite us in the butt.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It comes to bite us in the butt. Sometimes when they're happening, it's better for you to leave them unsaid, say nothing about it, even if that's what is part of it. If that's what you guys are assuming, keep assuming. I'm not just gonna like harness on that. I'm not just gonna shed any light on that. I'm just gonna leave it alone. But now that you try to buttress that stuff, and now it comes back to be that's what it is, how does it make it look like? Now people are gonna start doubting some of the things that you have in that document, because you tried to cover for it in the beginning. Now you're saying that. So which one is true? Are we supposed to believe you or not? We don't even know what you're saying.
Yeah.
So you see where the downsides of the whole thing. So it's honestly it's really sad, and self-reflection is really, really important. And I cannot overemphasize on how much I cannot overemphasize the importance of self-reflection and self-awareness. Like those two things. This is 2023. Anybody that doesn't have that deserves one Oriamo code on their back of their head. Give them like 2 or 3 to reset their brain.
It's gonna get worse.
It doesn't even help you.
I think it's actually gonna get worse before it gets better, because the more I go through this rabbit hole, I'm seeing how bad it is out there.
Yeah, and it doesn't help you only in romantic relationships. It also helps you like in your personal life, in work relationship, business relationship, and the rest of it. You know what I'm saying? Because You know, when I asked you, when I started talking to you, and I asked you about what are the books on emotional intelligence would you advise, and you advised me to read the book on how to
How
influence,
to flash the Carnegie,
how
right?
to win friends and influence. Yes,
Yeah.
and I will tell you that I've read that, I've listened to that book on audiobook more than 3 times
I
because
bet.
every
That's
time
what's
you
up.
read it, you like pick something. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
every time you read it, you like pick something. You know, every time, and I realized how much important it is
Yeah.
to the 3 second rule on how to wait before you say something
Mm-hmm.
instead of that like that giving that kind of like a quick reaction thing because it saves you at the end of the day, and that has really been helpful to me. So sometimes even instead of giving like a savage answer or giving like a rude response, you kind of like tend to breathe in and out, and later your mind will be like say nothing or say it this way or say it in a nicer way. You know what I'm saying? But when people try to say like, my blood is hot, it boils, like I have to give it back to them like sharp, sharp, then they will know what they've done. And you always ask us, so what do you achieve at the end of the day? What do you gain from it? What's your reward?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
most times people just feel like we come here and just like maybe chit chat and share about gossip, but we learn a lot of stuff for those of us that are learning.
Mm-hmm.
So this kind of like a school for us. This
Yeah.
stuff like this, when we read it, when we listen to it, we digest it. Honestly speaking, it has helped a lot of people. And I just don't want people to come here every day to just feel like we're discussing celebrity,
Right.
separation
Mm-hmm.
issues and whatnot. But
Yeah.
we're also learning lessons. We're also helping
Absolutely.
relationships to grow. We're
Mm-hmm.
also fostering healthy lifestyles and the rest of it.
Yep.
That's really what I want. If people have to remember this platform for, that's one of
Mm-hmm.
the things that I want them to remember for.
Mm-hmm.
But for the sometimes, honestly, I'm praying for them because it's sad if you have to dim your light for your partner. Do you understand what I'm saying? If you have to, if you, not even the person telling you, but the moment you start feeling like there's a need for that because the person
Mm-hmm.
is moving in a certain kind of way that is giving you that kind of notion, like, you're beginning to do too much, blah, blah, blah.
Mm.
Let me tell you, I used to, I had a lot of business again. I was selling African inspired clothing and a lot of stuff. So when we moved to a new house,
Mm.
my husband and I realized how much stuff I have that I didn't sell. And one day he brought out a piece of paper and a pen. You're like, we
Mm.
need to sell these stuff. What measures do you think you can take to sell the stuff? Let me help you out. How can we sell it?
Mm.
Now, it's very important for a woman to feel like you have someone that brings solution to the table too. Like you said earlier, it's not only what women bring to the table, even the man, like what are you bringing to the table? Like
Yeah.
sorry, I told you guys about the lady I met at the store that was
Mm-hmm.
doing Thanksgiving. She's like, I'm not cooking, no. Everybody will bring something. I'll bring turkey and I'll make the turkey and I'll bring the drinks. My sister is bringing rice, this one's bringing that. And I'm like, well, I'm cooking, but nobody's bringing anything. I just want people to show up
Mm.
because I don't want to burden people with that.
Mm.
And probably people might not make it the way I want it to be made. I don't know
Mm.
where and how you're making it. So, you know what I'm saying? So, like you said, asking
Mm-hmm.
what do you want me to bring?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's totally like I have people that have asked me and I say nothing.
Hmm.
Do you understand what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah.
So if you have to like, there's no need for that. Why would you even be? And that's why they were always encouraged to have courtships, so
Mm.
you'll be able to read the other person. But the truth is that you'll never finish reading the person.
Yeah.
Even
No,
till
it's a
you people
moving
get married,
target.
you'll be
It's
seeing
a
new
moving
stuff.
target.
Yeah, you're gonna be seeing new stuff every day.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna be seeing new stuff every day, and then you'll be thinking, do I want to deal with this? Do I not want to deal with this? But
Mm-hmm.
then sometimes you have to learn to also you have to learn to change is unevitable.
Yeah.
A lot of
Yeah.
stuff are gonna change. Let's just assume God forbid if you're with a partner that comes up with a like life ending sickness,
Mm-hmm.
what are you gonna do? Are you gonna leave the person, or are you gonna find a way that you guys can navigate that through together? You be by that person. Do you
Yeah.
understand what I'm saying?
Mm.
And sometimes we always think that we're perfect too. There was a place that I
Or
think
we act like
she
it at
made a
least because
statement that
people
she
don't
said that
admit
he
to
feels
it.
like, yes, yes, that he acted like he was too good for her.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's a good feeling for anybody's partner to kind of like feel that way that I'm too good for you or
Right.
you're not. Yeah, like I'm the prize.
Yeah. Yeah. But when you start to feel that
So
way,
I like, yeah, there's a question mark. There's a question mark because it's either, like you said, communications vary. It's either the person is saying it directly, or is saying it in their actions, or is saying it by the way they talk about you to other people.
Right.
So there are different ways that people can pass that message to you. But we don't like hearing about breakups, but we always have to learn the lessons from it.
You have to learn from them.
What are the lessons?
Yep, we have to learn from them.
Yeah, we have to pick up the lessons.
Yeah.
And this is gonna help us in the future too, to be able to raise healthy kids, to be able to have healthy relationship. We have to let this present generation. I mean, our children's generation know and understand that healthy.
It's the same issues when you are presented with kids, or you're presented with sickness, or you're presented with cards that life will deal you, right? It's how do you respond to those things. It's the same issues across the board, it just looks different, from story to story.
Like I always used to share with you on your panel, like one of the things that I've learned, one of my biggest lessons that I picked from your channel is self-reflection. That's one of my biggest lessons, because in the beginning, right, I didn't really understood, or I wasn't aware that sometimes some of my responses are triggering. Because I believe I'm that.
It was justified. You were justified because you felt how you felt. So, like, take that.
I said I was the perfect girl. What are you talking about? I was the perfect. You cannot tell me shit about me. But later, when I started doing the reflection thing, I was like, oops.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm going to take that.
Yeah.
Oops. I don't think I'm going to take that.
Right. You start that's empathy. You start to put yourself in other people's shoes. And, yeah.
I started to learn to hold myself back.
Yep. Anyway, I'm looking forward to our session on December 3rd. So
December 3rd. Yep.
So looking forward to it. I'm going to send you a link within the next 24 hours or so to help you prepare for that as well. All right? All right, good. We'll talk soon.
No problem.
All right, bye.
All right. Okay, everyone. Have a good one. All right, bye.
All right, people. That was a nice quick session. So as I told you before, that's the link to the book she mentioned, How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. Okay. Everyone needs to read that book. Hit that like button, share, subscribe on your way out. I'll be back here again in no time. So make sure you're hitting the like button, share, subscribe, sharing. All right. I appreciate you all for being here. Hopefully been enlightened and educated. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Beautiful girl,
It's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Make love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.